Hi everybody, welcome back to the Daily Rant. Today I want to talk to you about a really important issue that yet again our wonderful media system that is mainly run by the old crone that is Rupert Murdoch, who is a completely different topic. I want to talk to you today about a thing called the TTIP. Now a lot of you probably won't have heard about this. If you read The Independent, you might have heard about it, but I wanted to give you a bit of an explanation about what TTIP is. So the TTIP stands for the Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership, and to quote The Independent, it is a series of trade negotiations being carried out mostly in secret between the EU and the US as a bilateral trade agreement. The TTIP is about reducing regulatory barriers to trade for big businesses like food, safety law, environmental legislation, banking regulations, and sovereign powers of individual nations. Now I'm going to repeat that again for you just so you can get what they're doing. It is reducing the regulatory barriers to trade for big business, banking regulations, safety law, environmental legislation, and sovereign powers of individual nations. So, what does that mean to us? Well, for starters, we're a sovereign country. We have a monarchy, so that's one thing. But they're about reducing the powers of what the Queen is. That's not necessarily something that's a bad thing because she doesn't really have much power anyway, really, to be honest. Now, the negotiations of the TTIP have been since last February. The process has been really secretive. It's been undemocratic. It's not been out. You know, this stuff hasn't been on the news. The BBC hasn't been talking about it. ITV News hasn't been like, oh, TTIP, what do you all think? It's secret, and there are very good reasons why they're keeping it secret, because they don't want you to know about it. Because if you know about it, you're going to start kicking up a stink. And I'm telling you guys, we really need to start kicking up a stink about this one. So there's 6 reasons why we as a country should be frightened. And I use that word, I mean frightened, of the TTIP. Basically, this information has been come from leaked documents that have come from the TTIP negotiations, which is very secretive, and also from freedom of information requests. Don't forget, guys, you know, you can request information from most places under the freedom of information request, and you can find out what the hell's going on, because they won't tell you. The powers that be, when I say they, I mean the powers that be, the big head honchos that run the world, that run the country, that do these kind of crappy, backhanded, under the cover deals, and they don't tell you, the people, about it. Public services. What is our biggest public service at the moment? It's the NHS, and we in the UK, we are so lucky to have something as fantastic as the NHS, because in America, you're literally, your arm is hanging off, they'll patch you up so you are alive, and then they'll push you back out again. And they will charge you thousands and thousands of pounds for the privilege. So, underneath this new treaty, they are looking to, basically privatise the NHS. Now, we've already had areas of the NHS privatised in the recent years under our current government, and it tended to be food and cleaning. And if you've been in the NHS system, you'll know that the food is terrible, and we have a problem with cleanliness there. And the problem with privatising sectors in the NHS is that, or privatising public sectors, is that they go for the cheapest option. And when you've got something like cleanliness in hospitals, going for the cheapest option, oddly enough, isn't the best answer. basically the European Commission has claimed that public services are going to be kept out of this treaty, but actually we've kind of had feedback from the Trade Minister, Lord Livingston. He's admitted that talks about the NHS is still on the table. So, do you all want to buy private health insurance? Do you all want to be in a situation where, you know, if you've got no money, your health, you have no option? You know, do you want to be in a situation where all your teeth are falling out and you can't do anything about it? Or, you know, your grandmother is dying and she just has to die because you can't get her help? We're living in a situation now where 1 in 3 of us is going to get cancer. We're already playing a postcode lottery, and a treaty like this is looking to privatise the NHS, which will be for the benefit of the big companies because it's looking to make a profit out of people being sick, which is what all the big pharmaceutical companies already do. So, you know, we need to really kick up a stink about this one. The next ones, as I said, food and environmental safety. This was the next one up, which is the TTIP's regulatory convergence. And this is an agenda that looks to, basically, they're loosening the powers for the farmers. So we're going to be getting, you know, the higher use of hormones, higher use of pesticides. You know, in the EU, we virtually allow no GM foods over here. In America, it's something like 70% of all processed foods in the US supermarkets now contain genetically modified ingredients. It's a fact. 70%. And time after time after time, we have done research on animals, and I'm totally against animal testing, but we have done animal research on genetically modified food, and every single time they've come out with cancer and tumours. Do you want to be eating genetically modified food? I don't want to be eating genetically modified food, and I sure as hell don't want to be in a society where it's allowed to be put on our shelves without having any warning that that this food contains genetically modified produce. Because again, it's a situation where, you know, one hand feeds the other. They want to privatise the NHS, and then they want to give you all cancer. Now, I don't want to go into the whole conspiracy theory stuff because I want to keep this to the truth. So I want to allow you guys to have the truth, make up your own theories up after that. But if you just look at it from that point of view, that they want to privatise our NHS system, and then they want to fill us with growth hormones, pesticides, and genetically modified products that have all been linked to cancer. You know, I'm going to give you cancer and I'm going to make money out of it. Banking regulations. Jesus, if we had some problems with the banks over the last, well, like ever since banks were originated. Jesus could tell you a few things about that. So we've got the system now where the UK's under the influence of the all-powerful City of London, and they're thinking about loosening up to US banking regulations. The thought is that they're going to be seeking to loosen the US banking regulations. Apparently, America's financial rules are tougher than ours, but they are going to be looking to put into place to avoid similar crisis happening, but at the same time they're looking to remove restrictions, which is effectively handing back power to the bankers. So under the guise of creating stronger regulations, they are saying you have to be really strict, but you're the only ones that are going to regulate it. And I think we have all seen from past history with anybody that is self-regulating, it's not regulated at all. So self-regulation doesn't work. So this kind of thing, yeah, okay, maybe it might work, but at the same time, handing more power back to the banks is a really bad idea. Privacy. Do you remember back in 2012 there was a massive backlash, public backlash from the European Parliament of ACTA, which is the Anti-Counterfeiting Trade Agreement. Basically, it was seen to attack individual privacy where internet service providers, again quoting Independent here, internet service providers would require to monitor people's online activity. Now, we've already had loads of problems with the NSA doing this in America, and people are horrified by it. You know, probably somebody like me who just wants to tell the truth is looked at as a terrorist in America. We had that lady who was a member of the Green Party. Recently, she was apparently put on a terrorism list because she'd attended a few sort of activism things, which is ridiculous. Terrorism is a buzzword to make you all frightened and stay inside your houses, and outcry for stricter and harsher rules. There aren't really any sort of real terrorists coming around trying to kill you all, you know? There are bad people that do bad things, but I mean, as they say, one man's saviour is another man's terrorist. So, you know, this terrorism thing we've got to be really careful about, guys, because it's a buzzword that the media use to create terror in you, to make you cry out for stricter laws and stricter, you know, get the police to have guns, and they need to have more military action over here, and we need this and we need that, and all you're doing is taking away your public freedoms. That's all you're doing. You know, how safe do you want to be? Do you want to be locked in to a cell every night to protect you from terrorists? Because this is where we're going. If you don't stand up and turn around and say, I'm done with this crap and we need a new way of doing things. So anyway, TTIP is bringing back ACTA's central elements through the back door, data privacy laws, restrictions through public access to pharmaceutical companies, clinical trials are thought to be on cards, all sorts of crap. So, you know, I really recommend you check out this this Independent article. I will put a link at the bottom of this video. Jobs. So we have a problem at the moment with depression and jobs, and people are out of jobs, and apparently we're at the lowest rate at the moment of people out of work or something that they keep telling us on the news. TTIP is probably going to cause more unemployment. Great, brilliant idea. Let's do it. You know, it's advised the EU members to draw on European support funds to compensate for the expected unemployment. So basically, we're going to acquire more debt for the country, which we're already in massive amounts of debt, and I mean like billions and billions of pounds a day. So yeah, basically, we're going to have less jobs. You know, and we're going to be looking to create more debt to support that. And the biggest threat is democracy. So the TTIP is looking to put an agreement into place. It wants to introduce an investor-state dispute settlement, which is the ISDS, which allows companies to sue governments if those governments' policies cause a loss of profit. So to put that into realistic terms, I'm a company that wants to. I'm a company that creates a cancer drug. Bring it back to that one. I'm a pharmaceutical company that creates a cancer drug, and I also create food that Monsanto here. I'm also create a food that has had research against it that has proven that it causes cancer. And then the government turns around and says, no, 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 let's ban GMO products because they cause cancer. And then this guy over here, who's a pharmaceutical company that makes drugs for cancer, says, hang on a minute, you're hurting our profits. You can't do that. And so it sues our government to stop them being able to put through legislations that are there to protect you, the people, to ensure that they're protecting the big profits of the big head honchos of the companies that don't give a crap about you or I. So, really angry today about this one. This is a proper daily rant. I don't know about you, I don't want the TTIP coming through. But the thing about it is, do you have a chance to vote against it? Nope. No, you don't. Oh, wait a minute though. Wait. We're living in a democratic society, aren't we? Aren't we? Aren't the government acting in our advantage? Aren't they there to help us like the good Samaritans that they are? No, no, they're not. No, no, they are not. So the only thing that we can do, because we can't fight it with a vote, not that half of you are even going out and voting anymore, the only thing we can do is keep telling each other about it and cause as much of a stink about it that we hope that we can kind of at least fight the conspiracy of silence upon the TTIP. Hopefully that the more people that know about it, the more people that kind of reject it, and then in some way we can kind of with the people power and the spoken word ensure that our government choose the right thing, because at the end of the day we do pay their salaries, whatever you think, we do pay their salaries, and if we don't vote them in because they're doing really bad shifty deals underneath us, they don't get to get their big bonuses and they don't get to get their expenses paid. So Green Party are against the TTIP, can I just say as well. So when you're voting, I think it's next year the vote is, Green Party, give them a chance. And I'm not like, pro-Green Party, but I am anti every other party because all they do is poo on us. So that's the TTIP, guys. There's 6 really good reasons why we don't want it to go through. That's a very angry me today. Apologies. But I hope you enjoyed the daily rant. I'm going to leave some details for some articles for you to read about the TTIP so you can become a little bit more aware of it. I'm sorry this is a bit of a long one, but enjoy it. Have a good day. Peace out.